Gentlemen, today the subject of our discussion is constitutional reforms. I shall take a little time to put across my point of view to you for your consideration. It is a vast subject and many things have been said with regard to this by numerous people. But I am very glad to see that in India, in response to the call of our leader and Prime Minister, a national debate is going on. We are discussing something which is definite, which is concrete, and which has been placed before the nation by our government through Parliament. It is one of the characteristics of our Prime Minister to be as democratic as possible in every sphere of the activity, indeed, in every matter with which he deals. Therefore, a bill with specific and concrete proposals has merely been introduced, but no further discussion has taken place on it. The sole reason is obviously there cannot be any doubt that the government wants to have an extensive public debate on the issues involved. I have no doubt whatsoever that from every hook and corner of India we shall hear of conventions, conferences, and seminars dealing with the proposals that have been formulated by the Constitutional Amendment Bill, which has been moved by the Law Minister. Now, if I place before you the main things suggested in the amendment and try in my humble way to justify them, I would like to deal with some preliminary objections, if I may use that expression. The first is an objection which, in opinion, has been taken vaguely and in a very indefinite manner, that the Constitution should not be amended. The second objection which has been taken is that the party which is in power today, namely the Indian National Congress, has not got the mandate to bring the amendments which it has brought today before Parliament. I do not want to go into the matter from a political point of view, but I would like to deal with this aspect as legally as possible. There is no country in the world which has a written constitution where amendments have not taken place, wherein no power granted for the purpose of bringing about amendments. Each generation has a right to choose to itself the form of government it believes the most promotive of its own happiness. I leave the objection, therefore, by merely saying that this objection needs to be rejected. As regards the second objection, it is said that fundamental rights cannot be altered. I am sure everybody will agree that rights can be classified broadly into two groups, namely natural and civil. Natural rights are inherent, which come from the elementary laws of nature, such as the right of life, the right of freedom, and the like. There are countries where there is no death penalty. In some other countries, certain crimes are still visited with sentence which require a man to lose his life. In many countries, there are laws authorizing preventive detention. In some countries, there is no such law. It changes from state to state, from nation to nation. Therefore, natural rights too change from time to time. Now, a constitution cannot be in this state of thing. It is too sacred a document. There cannot be any uncertainty with regard to it. So, this concept of basic structure is something, if I may say so with respect, so difficult to understand and so impossible of comprehension that one cannot rightly accept such a doctrine just because of some judges of the Supreme Court have said it. The person who is making this objection has not taken into account the facts of the recent history. Parliament could hardly do anything to bring about the social changes and to bring about the progress. It is real power has been taken away by the judiciary as a result of series of judgments. The Prime Minister did, if I may say so, with respect to what every right thinking person would have done under the circumstances in advising the President to dissolve the Parliament nearly 1 year before its term was to expire and to hold the general elections to the Parliament. Dear sir, we are in receipt of your letter of 10th May 90 enquiring the terms and conditions for our wholesale agency. In reply, we would like to make the following offer to you as our wholesale agency in your town. On all cash transactions, we would allow you 10% commission, and on running accounts, it would be 10%. Of course, if any account be paid within 30 days from the date of transaction, we may be able to allow a commission, say, at the rate of 5%. But after the expiry of that time, it would not be possible for us to allow you more than 2%. All goods will be sent directly to you in cases, and it should be checked up with our invoices. If you find that any mistakes have been committed as to the quantity or the quality of the materials received by you, kindly let us know as early as possible you can. On receiving your reply, we shall at once dispatch duplicate goods to you and take up the matter with our dispatchers. The empty cases must be returned to us as early as possible, which can be put to constant use. Please send these cases carried forward. With regard to the advertising matter, if you decide to take up our agency, we shall forward a few pamphlets and price lists of our goods bearing your name and address. We trust you will be able to dispose of these to our mutual benefit. We shall also send you some show cards for exhibiting in your windows. In case the above details are not sufficient, please let us know at your earliest convenience. It is hoped that you have decided to accept the agency. Yours faithfully.